Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of... That would be the woods, people. That's where bears live. And actually, right now, it looks like it might actually come down raining here. So hopefully Bear will be able to stick with you good people. Be able to do some fun stuff here today. Boy, oh, Bear... got to watch the Foundation show, and oh, Bear has things to say about that. Many things to say about that. Almost, Bear was like this close. We did it last season. Nobody watched with Bear. Did a watch-along last season at the season finale of the show. This, by the way, Foundation show on Apple TV+. Just concluded its second season. Bear was talking it up the last week. Oh boy, I can't wait till the season finale. And here we are. Oh boy. So anyways, we'll get into that in just a minute. We've got some news, good old news updates for you good people. Some campaign updates as well. And of course, your chats out here. Just starting, that was sheer luck, says Grant. You are lucky today, Grant. You are our first chatter. Not really sure what you get out of that, but there you are, sir. You get to claim numero uno. So good to have Grant here. Great to have Amy here as well. And one would assume Melissa somewhere close by. She says, hey, Bear, how's the cave internet doing? You tell me. I hope it's... Let me see. Let's check it out here. Stream health. Excellent. It is excellent for now. We'll see. Hold on. Let me look out. Kind of, sort of. We got some clouds heading the way here. So we'll see. Hopefully Bear will get to do his Foundation review here for you good people. Oh, let me get you good people in here, for crying out loud. Sitting here jabbering on, and there we go. The good folks out there, including Sam. Hello, Sam. Great to have you here. So, anyways, we will do a kind of season review of it. Bear was this close to doing a watch along, but nobody really watches this show, so it'd just be Bear grunting and yelling things at the screen. And you'd be like, what, Bear, why are you talking about Water Girl and Space Jesus and female Chris Rock and yada, 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 Lee Pace, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, it's part of the show. But let's go ahead, because, people, you've only got minutes, possibly hours away from the end of it all here, people. Let Bear find out where we're at here. Not CyberFrog, thankfully, but doing pretty good there. $536,000. Congratulations, Uncle Lee. Doing well, sir. Shoot, I got I lead in with the drama, and then I've got one preceding it here. So let's get to that real quick. That would be, if Bear can find it here, the OBS. Where am I? Come on, Bear. Professional show. One of these days. Yada. From Eric Ninaltowski. One of the hardest last names for Bear to spell out there. He has an update on Shadow Sentry. On the book and crowdfunding campaigns. Inks on the Hopscotch origin story are complete. He's got his next phase. Will be sending the pages to be colored by Kevin Anthony De Castro. In the meantime, I'm rolling on to the Commander North story, which I'm excited to get going, he says. The new landscape and different mix of characters done in a bit different style as well. So there you go. If you missed out, Bear doesn't really promote Kickstarter campaigns, but if you missed out, people, he has a second chance, and that is through his Fund My Comic. And Bear actually, if he can pull it up here, come on, Bear, professional show. Where is it? Here we are. You can go ahead, check it out here. Check it out. There we go. There it is. If you want to check it out, go down in the description. Bear's been trying to put together kind of a list of different campaigns whatnot, people should go check out. So if you go to the description, look under the Fund My Comics section there, you're going to see this Shadow Sentry Second Chance, and you could actually be the second backer. Poor guy. He needs some more people out there. Luckily, he got his funding goal of $6.66. So, whew, that was a close one there. So, anyways, interesting. I'm not gonna do a campaign review. Did this a while back there, but there you are. Got some great stuff here. You're gonna be getting this. You're gonna be getting this fella right here. What is it? It's a 10 by 13. 10 by 13 posters. So go check that out, people, if you want to check out Fund My Comics. So he's got some good stuff there. $800. Holy cow. No, that's not for the book. For the book, it would be $25. So go check that out on Fund My Comic. Looks like a new cover there of hopscotch. There you go. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. All right, let me finish what he was talking about here. Where am I? Come on, Bear. The thing with the thing. If you want to get a little taste of the beautiful art that is in this book and the sweet story from Mark Polton they've cooked up, check out this page from the book. So there you go. Actually, let me find it here. Where is it? That one right there. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. If you like this, great news. If you're new, back the if you like this, great news. If you back the new Fund My Comic campaign, you'll get one of these free posters in color just for backing. So there you go. Pretty cool. He's also got coming to an Indiegogo campaign. I'll be launching a card set. They'll be made available called Hopscotch's Halloween. Excellent. Which will feature Hopscotch dressed in all manner of fun Halloween costumes. Yes. Excellent. He's also going to be doing sketch cards and soon holochrome posters. So go check that out, people. Some interesting stuff, which, by the way, it allows Bear this one opportunity here to showcase a little bit of Weldon art, some original Weldon art. So if you actually got the first Shadow Sentry campaign and you got the cards with it, the metal foil cards that he came with it, or actually it was metal cards. That was one of the metal cards. So there you go. Thank you, Weldon. Come back, Weldon. A lonely Comics Gate turns your eyes to Matthew Weldon out there. So there you go. Some good stuff. Great artwork from Matthew Weldon. Yes, indeed. All right, let me continue on because, people, you only have a certain amount of time here, and that would be, please sing it along with Bear here and Angry Aaron here. That would be the ghosts of Matecumbe Key. The ghost of Matecumbe Key, people. The secret is you gotta hold it. You hold it for an extra like 2 or 3 seconds. You think you're done, you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that. Otherwise, Aaron might be angry at you. Aaron might actually be angry at you. He says, last call, people. Last call. Listen up. Hello, my friends. As we are nearing the finish line on this amazing campaign, certain items will be coming down. The Kelly Jones variant cover will no longer be available as of 9 p.m. tonight, people. You've only got less than an hour. So make sure you keep Bear in one window and go check out Graham Nolan here. By the by, hold on 1 second here because poor Graham, I tell you what. Once again, Indiegogo. Indiegogo is shadow banning. Bear went and checked it out, typed in ghosts and all this other stuff. Comics, ending soon, all that sort of stuff. Nothing's coming up. So please go check out. There we go. There is the link for you good people out there. Anyways, he says, grab your copy right now, people, before it's too late. As of this post, you have 5.5 hours left, and that was a little while ago. I don't recall Pacific time, but there you go, people. 9 p.m. 9 p.m. out there. So he says, hurry, hurry. Says a thank you, and Graham. Graham R. I guess for the ghost there. So there you go. If you want this cover, you better go back it. Better go back it right now, people. Right now. With great colors there from Kelsey. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We have dismissed Kelsey Shannon from Comicsgate. So I apologize. Bear apologizes. So foo-foo to you, Kelsey. Foo-foo. No, we love Kelsey out here. I have no idea what the hell's going on with John Malin out there trying to kick everybody. Kelsey, chokeouts. I mean, anybody and everybody. He's taken on all comers, apparently. So there you go, people. Go check that out before it's too late. Before it is too late, people. All right, and finally, for you good people, Bear has some good news from Jawbreakers. That's right, Jawbreakers. That would be your boy, Zach. He's got a pinup art reveal. Ooh. Well, let's check it out. Where are we looking at this when we could... look at this. There we go. He says, hi, everyone. Hiya, boy. Sashi, just completed the pinup for Jawbreakers Forever. As has become the tradition, every copy of the book will include a French folded pinup for, as he says, promotional purposes. There you go. He says, thanks. And that's Richard. So there you go. Some interesting artwork there from Sashi, I believe. Interesting stuff. I'm Bear is intrigued by this. I need to take a closer look, people. Taking a closer look at amazing artwork here. I don't know why she has 2 ears, though. That's kind of... I know it's a mask, but why do you need the 2 ears? I'm not sure about that. Maybe it's talked about in the comic there, but and kind of an interesting outfit as well. She's got the sort of fur on the inside and skin on the outside, I suppose. So kind of the opposite of Bear. Here. So I suppose it's pretty warm. In there, but trying to get into that's got to be pretty hard. Pretty hard. Oh, she also has a tail. Oh, interesting. That's something. That's something right there. How do you get the tail through the outfit, though? Not sure. Not quite sure. All right. Anyways, people, that is Bear's thoughts on this beautiful poster. Promotional material. Promotional material from your boy Zach. So some good stuff there. Good stuff there from him. Yes, indeed. And by the way, did I have 1 second here? No. For crying out loud. Anyway, so that is that for you good people. Go check it out. Graham, he's got it coming down pretty soon, so you want to go ahead and check that out relatively quickly here, people. All right, let's get into it, people. Let's get the hell into this Foundation. We'll go ahead and kind of do a sort of season review for you good people. I know everybody is just super interested in that, but once again, interesting series out here. Didn't end it the way that Bear wanted it to, but that's all right. They really should have ended it on the episode last time. If you weren't here, Bear was commenting about the new show, this show called Foundation. Let's go ahead and get right on into it here. Do the thing with the thing. There we go. Show called The Foundation here on Apple TV Plus. Kind of their, I guess, the morning show is probably their marquee sort of show that they have out there with all the big names and all that sort of stuff in there. Jennifer Aniston and what's her name? Tracy Flack and all the other ones out there. Foundation, probably not the premiere show for them, but like right there up there. Spent just like a god-awful amount of money on everything here. Even when it was not good. Man, the set design, the actors, just everything around it was really good. But a lot of times the sort of writing and a tone of the show just kind of went in weird directions, and you really didn't. You're like, okay, I'm focused in on this part of the show, which is really good. And then they cut off to like another part of the show, which is like, I don't care about this part. I want to get back to the good part. So, like, you got to take the good with the bad in some of the show here. So let's go ahead. Just kind of go through some of the episodes here. We'll kind of bring it up till the last show here that aired just last night. Let me get you good people here as well. There we are. There we are, everybody saying hey, 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 hey. Okay, so very long story short. Foundation basically is the fall of the Roman Empire in space. So we are following along. The title, Foundation, is following along a mathematician, sort of a future mathematician that has predicted the future. Oh my God, the empire is going to fall. We need to get, like a big library where everybody can go. Once everything collapses, we need to bring back the galaxy with everybody, all the humans all over the galaxy there. We need to bring that back in quick order. Otherwise, there's going to be 100,000 years of darkness, 100,000 years of the Dark Ages, essentially. So if you think of fall of the Roman Empire, Dark Ages that happened afterwards, think of like the sort of monks or maybe some of the individual libraries that were out there that kind of husbanded the knowledge that was accumulated all of those thousands of years, and then all of a sudden everything collapsed and people, were burning stuff and everything was just going crazy, the Huns and all that other stuff. So essentially that's what's going on with that. So you have one side, Henry Selden, Bear calls him Space Jesus out there. Henry Selden, they get sent off to a faraway planet on the edge of the galaxy. They're just essentially kicked out. They sent all the very smart and educated people that were down with Henry Selden, all the scientists and everything. This is up. You're talking too much. The people might get a little agitated talking about the fall of the whole empire. Why they should pay taxes and all this other stuff. So we're going to send them out, send them away, get them out of here. Get them out of here. So they went off last season. They at the end of the last season, they made allies with a number of the other different planets out there that were kind of against the empire. They kind of started their own little new thing that was going on. They were trying to keep it secret. They were telling the empire, hey, we're gone, we're dead, it blew up, a giant supernova or something like that happened. So empire wasn't worried about it for hundreds of years. So season 2 starts. We're several hundred years after the fact. I think it was like 150, 200 years, something to that effect after the fact. So right now we have the emperor. The emperor is essentially a clone. So you see Lee Pace here. He's sort of the emperor. And then as he gets older, his name is Day. So as he gets older, it's Dusk, Brother Dusk. And then before him, preceding him is Brother Dawn. So, once the older guy dies off, the Lee Pace, Brother Day will take his place as Brother Dusk. Brother Dawn will take his seat as the new emperor, and it just kind of goes that way. So we're following along with the emperor here. All of a sudden, a brand new start of the show, start of the season here. The emperor is almost killed. He's got a assassin that's after him. So he barely escapes the assassination. He's just suspecting everybody, including his brothers there, which is essentially the clone of himself. He's, okay, we got to find out who done it, who did it. And sort of towards the end of the episode, they find out, hey, wait a minute. That whole Foundation folks that we sent off edge of the universe, we thought they're dead. Pardon me here. Thought they were dead. No, they lied. They're still there, and they might have sent the assassin to kill you. So that starts a little bit of the story going. The other kind of half of the story is Empire has figured out from Henry Selden, hey, the The whole thing's going to collapse. They're doing the same thing over and over again, so he's going to do something completely different. He's going to get away from all of the clones. He's going to marry. He's going to marry into another planet out there, another kingdom out there. He's going to marry into that. Going to have a bride. Going to have an heir to the throne. So they're not going to need Brother Dusk. They're not going to need Brother Dawn out there anymore. He's going to be the real one. He's going to hang out and do everything, and then once he's gone, go to the sun rather than to the clone. So that is sort of the beginning of episode 1. We kind of figure out what's been going on in the past. We've kind of come up to the update to the future. Got a girl. She went with Henry Selden through a number of different stuff. She ends up meeting up with her daughter that we don't find out is her daughter until the very end of season 1. They end up meeting up on her old planet. Water girl's on the water planet. It's been flooded. They got to get out of there. The ship down below has been flooded, so they gotta bring the ship up out of the water and get off the planet because it's flooding, and they need to get the heck out of there. So, anyways, water girl, female Chris Rock go down to the ship. Bring it up. Situations happen. Somebody nearly dies. Yada, yada, yada. They finally get the ship up and activated and headed out into space. And then all of a sudden, the digital version of Henry Selden comes alive and says, "Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here." And then that's basically where episode 1 ends. So kind of on a cliffhanger, get accustomed to some of the new characters that come out, like the princess lady here. We figure out where she's coming from, this and that, whatever. Interesting first episode there. The downside to a lot of this is it's cutting back and forth. So we're cutting back to the Foundation stuff. We're cutting back to Water Girl here, cutting back to the Empire stuff and a couple different storylines there. It gets chopped up. It gets a little chopped up there, but Lee Pace fighting naked for his life. Very, very interesting first scene there. Very well directed. I thought it was well directed. Once again, looks like $1 million. Just excellent stuff out there. So very cool. Very cool. Ended that episode here. So going into episode 2, we have episode 2 here. So they're trying to figure out, okay, some stuff happened in between where we met last season. 100 and some odd years has passed. They're trying to figure out, okay, in the starship there with Selden and Water Girl, female Chris Rock, they're trying to figure out, okay, we changed some stuff. It's for the better, right? Well, apparently not. Apparently not. The collapse is coming a little bit sooner than everybody thought. Then, of course, Water Girl keeps having visions of the future, of a really bad guy. Bear first thought it was a gentleman named Harbor Mallow. Apparently it was not. It was a completely different character called the Mole. It's going to be kind of the main bad guy going forward in the next season. So very kind of odd-looking, almost cartoon character type villain. Very strange, but whatever. We get introduced to that. We get introduced to the princess that's coming down that's going to marry Brother Day. Going through, kind of repeating some of the stuff in case you hadn't seen it. Okay, the clones and this sort of stuff. They talk about a number of stuff there. Getting a little bit more into the story. We find out a little bit more about the Foundation, what they've been doing. So they come up with a new character. Let's see, Brother... What was his name? Brother Pi and Brother Constant, I think is what it was. No, not Pi. What was it? They were math. Let's see. It was Brother Constant and Brother... Oh gosh, people. Bear is forgetting. I never made a good name for him, so Bear forgot about it. Anyways, they are there. There she is right there on the screen. There's Brother Constant with her father. They came back from a pilgrimage. They are religious pilgrims that go out planet to planet to kind of spread the religion of Henry Selden. Bear calls him Space Jesus. So they're going out planet to planet. It's essentially a religion of science. So all the scientists that were there on the planet for 100 years or something like that, they came up with some interesting new technology, including being able to jump through space without. They have specialized people that are kind of like genetically engineered for the starships in the Empire there. They have special people that do that. Everybody else goes to sleep, kind of hibernation. Hibernation. Goes to sleep while the spacers are able to do all the jumping and calculating and mind-bending stuff. The Foundation has figured out a way to get past all that sort of stuff. They can do that without all those people, so it's kind of interesting. So they're trying to spread their religion, although they do it in kind of a flash in the pan sort of situation. Like, ooh, they're doing a lot of tricks, and it almost looks like magic, but no, it's really science, even though they're turning, lead into gold and all this sort of stuff. Alchemy, really, but there you go, some interesting stuff that they're doing there. So that was kind of season 2. We kind of learned a little bit more, season 2, episode 2. Learn a little bit more about some of the characters, learn about the new characters. We learn a little bit more about them, how they kind of do their magic, and sort of at the very end of the Foundation, what is it called? The, oh gosh, Bear's drawing a blank on that. Anyways, there is a kind of a monument, I suppose, on the Terminus planet there, and all of a sudden it's opened up again. And this hasn't happened for hundreds of years or something like that. So all the people on Terminus are like, oh goodness, this is a momentous occasion here. This only happened one time, a couple hundred years ago. Space Jesus visited us, so he might be coming back again. So they all go up to the thing and they're trying to figure out, okay, Space Jesus, what's going on? Tell us the plan. And then all of a sudden, he takes a guy up, and it's supposed to be the guy that's like gonna give everybody all the directions and everything, right? So he's like, all right, I'll be the man. I'll be the guy that goes up there, and he's lifted up off the ground and then set aflame, and then all of a sudden, huge thing up there says, "Find me, Harbor Mallows." We are introduced possibly to a new character out there that some of the brothers here from the Foundation planet, they need to go find. They need to go find this Harbor Mallow fellow. So that is where episode 2 ends. We kind of get caught up with a number of the characters. We get new plot developments, and then all of a sudden we got to find this brand new character. So that's where episode 2 ends. So it goes episode 3. We're going to go find out who this Harbor Mallow fellow is. What his deal is, and why we need to bring him back to the Foundation planet. So they go out, they find Harbor Mallow. He's kind of a how best to describe this? He's kind of a con artist, essentially. So he's going around the universe, and he's got these different trinkets and stuff like that he's selling and whatnot. So we find him. He's gonna try and sell a trinket to this guy on a planet, emperor on this faraway planet somewhere, and it's kind of a sort of a transportation device, little thing that you put on your wrist, and if the other person puts it on the other wrist, their bodies get transferred back and forth. So the person, person A gets transferred over to person B's body, and vice versa. Although they'll have, it'll just be their bodies, so their clothes remain the same. So when he transfers body with this sort of king on the planet, now all of a sudden he's wearing all the fancy robes and all this other stuff. So he was gonna do that. Well, the whole thing was a trick, basically, to get the king's, what was it, like a chalice or a crown or something like that. He tries to escape the planet and is caught. Oh my goodness, is caught and is going to be sentenced to death, people. Sentenced to death. So that's going to be a very unfortunate thing, but luckily they got the Foundation folks, came and rescued him, and then they're on their way to the Foundation planet to figure out, hey, this Harbor Mallow fellow, what does Space Jesus want with him? So they had that. They also have another storyline here where we're introduced to a new character. The fellow right here, the space captain, he is a former, like a admiral or something like that. He's out there for the Empire. They had a big battle that he was going to be involved in, and he decided he was given an order and decided to do something a little bit different to save his crew, save the lives of everybody. He does do that, but unfortunately, you really can't, disobey orders from the Emperor here in the Foundation. So he gets sent to prison, kind of a prison planet, kind of a salt mine prison planet. Well, I need to explain this in a little bit, but the robot, the female robot character here, there she is, comes down to the planet, says, "I've got an offer for you. You need to work for us, or we're going to leave you here to rot." So he decides, well, I want better working conditions for my prison mates here, and then I'll go with you. So kind of a story with all that sort of stuff. We meet this space admiral here. He's going to come back, help out the Empire, and go out to the Foundation planet and do what needs to be done. So first, they need to find a couple of other things first. They're sent off on a couple of other errands there, so they go do that. Meanwhile, Space Jesus, female Chris Rock, Water Girl, they're trying to find a new planet so they can do essentially a second or a backup Foundation planet. They're going around, go ironically enough to a desert planet. Space Jesus is essentially a hologram at this point. So he's being carried around by Water Girl around, and it's a very old mining planet where they've extracted like gold or some sort of ore out of there. So they're going around in their ruins and whatnot and trying to find where the signal's coming from that Space Jesus is looking for. Finally finds it, and it's kind of a mysterious group of possibly robots out there that they take Space Jesus away, and poor Water Girl is left by herself in the cave there. So she heads back to the ship there with female Chris Rock. All of a sudden, oh my gosh, the giant robots are attacking, and they gotta get away from there. And all of a sudden they find a life form out there as they're trying to escape. They pick up this life form. Sure enough, it's Space Jesus. And of course, Space Jesus comes back to life again for like the third or fourth time, I forget. Hey, Space Jesus, he gets around. So anyways, they pick up the body of Space Jesus, head out into space, and like, okay, we need to find the new planet here, settle the foundations. There they are. They're going to head out there to find out where they need to go next. So that's basically episode 3 here. Doing pretty good so far. Introducing new characters, bringing other characters up to speed, and kind of doing a little bit of different things with them, especially with Space Jesus. Doing some interesting things there. And we're finding out a little bit more about Emperor, and also, God, I'm trying to remember the robot's name. It's not Damaris. Delilah? No. Anyways, that starts with a D. Can't remember. Bear should have written all this stuff down, but you know what? He's trying to get to a professional show here. So anyways, there is that. There is that. So we get to episode 4 here. Episode 4. So they bring Brother Constance here, and Brother, gosh, what was his name? It wasn't Pi. Brother, Bear should have written this down. Anyhow, they bring him back. They go to the giant memorial, giant Space Jesus memorial thing there. Introduced to Space Jesus, which is actually the digital clone of Henry Selden. So it's actually a separate Space Jesus, but that gets a little too complicated for you people. Trying to keep it simple here. So anyways, they go to Space Jesus, get some instructions. The religious brothers, they've got to go off to the terminus. No, not Trantor, the main, the head of the empire, the sort of Rome, if you will, of the entire empire. So they're heading out there. Harbor Mallow, he was told a different secret plan. So he takes their spaceship, the brother spaceship, and he heads off onto a different direction. He's going to go do something different while the religious folks. They head off to the emperor's palace, trying to bring love and peace and all this good stuff. They're saying, okay, well, we got to take the space bus there, but that's all right. We'll take the space bus to Trantor and get a room with the emperor there. Hopefully, he'll listen to us and bring peace, and everything will be working out just terrifically. It's just fabulous. It'll all turn out just terrific. In addition to that, we're starting to get a little bit more about the princess that's going to be marrying Brother Day. She's developing a little bit more of a closer relationship with Brother Dawn. So that's kind of an interesting thing. They're a little bit more of the same age. So they're kind of getting a little bit closer together. Although she is kind of doing her own little thing. Apparently her family had been killed. She's like the last remaining line of their descendants there of kings on the planet. So she's the last one. So she's trying to figure out who killed them. And she's got kind of an idea that maybe Brother Day did it. So a little bit of sneakery there that she's doing. She's getting some, developing some contacts and bringing some people in to say, hey, we need to figure out who killed my family before I start to marry this fella that may actually have killed my family. Dun, 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 dun. So she's doing that. Space Admiral is heading out. They're trying to find, they found the last location of where Brother Constance here was. Last planet, so they go to check that out. Empire is kind of receded back from some of these planets there. So to find out that there are people from the Empire there, the locals aren't really too thrilled about that. So they try to attack the Admiral and his sort of gay lover there. I know, woke stuff. They do that, and the Space Admiral there comes into their contact there. Their contact's like, well, I've got a whole bunch of old stuff here, like books. Books aren't, they're banned throughout the galaxy. So they come across some contraband there. And, you're starting to get to the point of like, hey, wait a minute, you got sent to jail for, essentially disobeying the Emperor, and he let you out. Hey, maybe this might be the time to maybe make a coup. Maybe the military might depose the Emperor, and the Admiral here might take his place. So some intriguing stuff here for episode 4. Then it starts to fall off a cliff. They start to go into the other storylines here, which gets a little bit more in detailed with some of the storylines that we've already gotten into. Space Jesus, Water Girl, female Chris Rock, they go down to another planet, which is essentially a planet of psychics, kind of refugee psychics out there. So they find the planet, kind of drawn to it, but come across a number of kind of younger kids, younger adults there on this psychic planet, and they're trying to figure out kind of what's going on. But you get the impression that hey, maybe something ain't right here. Maybe it ain't all what it cracked up to be. Space Jesus is like, I got a bad feeling about this, and the episode ends. So it's like, oh, okay. In the meantime, you got a Brother Dusk and Brother Dawn here. They're kind of trying to figure out, who put out the hit on Brother Day. And at the same time, they're kind of, there's some genetic stuff that's going on. So they were supposedly the genetic clone from the very first Cleon. That would be the Emperor. So they've come to discover in last season that, hey, there's some different stuff there in that genetic material. So they're coming across some interesting stuff there. Brother Day actually has a different eye color than the other brothers there. So, and he's also got a little bit of a different personality trait as well. So they're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on with this Brother Day? Can we really trust him? Can we also trust the princess as well and her little courtesan here? Kind of, I don't know, handmaiden, I suppose. I don't know. Anyways, they've got their sort of stuff going on. They're still trying to figure out who murdered the family. it's starting to tie some strings together here, but going a little slow. Plus, you're jumping back and forth between like 5 different storylines. So, if you're a little confused so far, Beer apologizes, trying to do the best he can here. Kind of a little bit, starting to get kind of redundant episodes. Some odd stuff that's happening in some of the episodes. It's like, okay, why is this happening? That sort of deal doesn't make much sense. It'll make sense at the very end of the season here, but it's not making much sense now. So Space Jesus, they're there on the planet of psychics there. Gosh, I got a really bad feeling about all this sort of stuff. Something ain't right here. Some of the psychic stuff's getting a little sketchy there. And all of a sudden, Space Jesus, gets in his shuttlecraft and just flies away without the girls here. Like, see ya, bye. It's like, why did they do that? Why did he just decide to leave all of a sudden? Well, he didn't decide to leave. It was an image. It was another person that they decided to kind of do a mental kind of fakery, fake look to it. It was somebody else that was taking away the shuttlecraft there, but they wanted to make it look like Space Jesus. It's like, oh, wait a minute. What the heck happened to Space Jesus? Well, they have on the psychic planet kind of it's like a cult. So they got the cult leader there, kind of a very ugly lady there, but whatever. So she decides, like, okay, for whatever reason, I don't like your foundation, and we're going to kill all of you, and I want to take over the body of a water girl, because she's, like, a 1,000-year-old being, and she, like, transfers her mind into new, powerful psychic, like, children, so, she never ages or anything like that, so, she'll just transfer her body over and over and over again, so she wants a water girl, but female Chris Rock, Space Jesus, they're expendable. So at the end of the episode, we find out, oh my God, they killed Space Jesus. So again, so they killed Space Jesus again, and there is that. Herbert Mallow, he's off on his own little kind of side journey. He meets up with the kind of the space travelers there. Has an offer for them, and we kind of figure out what's going to go on later on with that. The religious brothers, they go to Trantor to kind of talk to the emperor there. Hi, how are you doing? We're here. We're going to set up diplomatic channels here. And he says, oh, okay, come on in, check it out. And at the end of the episode, we find out, no, screw you, you're being arrested. So they're arrested at the end of the season. Didn't even get to talk to the emperor. Just did all that. Also, Lee Pace here, he's going to be marrying his princess, but there's some more stuff kind of going on behind the scenes there with the princess there, and we're still trying to figure out, who killed her family, but also who put out the hit on old Lee Pace there. So we got to figure out all of that stuff. P-Money has finally arrived. Well, there we go, finally. We've been waiting on you the entire time here, P-Money. We're going through the foundation. Beer decided not to do a watch along, so we're just kind of doing a recap here. Excuse me. Clear the nose here. Anyway, so there is that. They also announced, hey, we're gonna get married with the princess there, and everybody's like, yay! But the Brother Dusk and Brother Dawn are like, wait a minute, hold on, something ain't right here. So that is where that episode's ends. So anyways, we get to finally episode 7. Episode 7. Things are starting to come to a head. Brother Day, okay, he's starting to figure some stuff out here. Has some suspicions of what's going on. Also, the princess there, she's also getting her suspicions verified as well. So you got a little bit of a conflict there between the two parties that are about to get married. So very interesting stuff going on there. Once again, a water girl on the psychic planet, trying to figure out what's going on. Around this time, basically, she does a complete 180 of what her character has been up to this point. She was against sort of the cult leader and kind of suspicious of her. And then all of a sudden she was like, yeah, cult leader, right on, right on, right on. So, her daughter, female Chris Rock, she gets a little suspicious about kind of what's going on. She has a way where she can predict some things in the future. So she's got like a coin that she flips and is trying to, predict heads or tails out of it. She's having a tough time doing that, and that kind of leads her to say, hey, something's going on here. She finds this little kind of boat thing that rides around with an iPad, I guess. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. She says, hey, something's going on with this. I'm going to go find out what's going on. Come to the end of the episode. Oh my God, she found Space Jesus. And he's dead. He drowned. Sorry, spoiler alert. Like, oh my God, Space Jesus. And she goes out there, and then a cult leader's there. And she says, aha, I knew it, female Chris Rock. We couldn't trust you. And then she, mentally, kills female Chris Rock. And oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. And, so both of them are dead. Whatever. So also, they're trying to figure out the Empire. He says, aha, we figured out where this terminus planet is. Oh, well, actually, before that, they have the religious people there, the religious brothers there. Says, okay, we're gonna hear from you. They hear from him. They actually have kind of Space Jesus kind of come through one of the speaking in tongues, I suppose, technologically speaking, through one of the brothers there, Brother Constance. She basically relays the plan from Henry Selden, Space Jesus there, of what's going on. Emperor doesn't like it at all. Gosh darn it, you're going to be executed. So they go the next day, and they're going to execute the poor religious folks that came. They just wanted peace, all that sort of stuff. They're going to execute them in front of everybody. Get ready to do it, and all of a sudden, poof, here comes Harbor Mallow out of the blue, just warps right in, and it, I guess when you go to hyper warp or warp speed or whatever, it kind of causes a violent reaction. So when he warps right in, it kind of essentially makes an explosion. So it's like a bomb went off. Oh my God, everybody's running. Oh my God. So they go and they rescue Brother Constance, but the other brother, he's still captured. Oh my God. So finally they decide, okay, enough of this. Harbor Mallow, they escape. Emperor decides, okay, enough of this. We are going to go to the Terminus planet. The other brothers, they're like, okay, you're going to go blow, you're going to go to war with him or whatever. He's like, no, I'm going to go there. All this stuff was planned out by Space Jesus. I'm going to go there and I'm going to go do something different. I'm marrying this lady over here, the princess from the planet. I'm going to marry her, and that's going to change everything. I'm also going to go to the planet here, and we're going to make peace instead of war. That's going to totally flip everything, and the Empire will not collapse, and everything will be fine. So that's where they end the episode here. Let's see. So Bear has spent 45 minutes just tapping fingers, going, "Where is P money?" You know Bear too well. Whenever I hear Jesus, I imagine Jesus in a spacesuit, hearing ground control, Major Christ. Major Christ. Yes, indeed. Which brings us to one of the best episodes that Bear has seen. Wait, no, hold on. My bad. Episode 8 was where they did all the executions and all that sort of stuff. So I missed an episode there. Episode 9. Oh boy, what a terrific hour of television. Bear came to all of you, says, people, I know Star Wars is dead. This episode right here just completely killed it. They did Star Wars better than Star Wars did. Talked about it in one of the previous episodes. I won't go through the entire episode here, but just very briefly, very succinctly. Brother Dusk is trying to figure out what's going on with the robot that they have there. She's holding some stuff back from him, so he wants to figure out what's going on. They do some stuff, and all of a sudden they find a secret passage to a chamber that's never been seen before in thousands of years. They go down, they go find that the robot that they've kind of grown up with their entire life, all the clones, they've kind of been raised by this sort of robot mother, as it were. Come to find out, she was many years ago kind of a soldier, a warrior out there, a robot warrior. They had a big battle, a big war between the humans and the robots. The humans won, so they got the last robot in existence there, and they basically kind of flayed her up a little bit and cut her up where she couldn't move or couldn't do anything, and put into this prison down below. So they discover this. They discover all the sort of stuff, and the original brother Cleon, the original, the first brother number one, kind of comes to them and kind of tells him his story of how the robot came to be, how she talked with him through his life, and he decided, okay, I'm gonna essentially marry the robot, but she's doesn't have free will. He plugs in a little a chip in the back of her neck, kind of like a emotional chip with data or something like that. Plugs a chip in the back of her neck. So now she is beholden to all the emperors throughout the history, all the clones out there, and she has to protect the empire. So even if the emperors do something wrong, she's there to protect what's right. So while they're doing that, old Lee Pace heads out there to Terminus there, and confronts everybody there. Decides, hey, wait a minute, this isn't what they were saying. This isn't a library at all. This is a freaking, they've got weapons in their church and all this other stuff. Confronts Space Jesus. Space Jesus doesn't really even care about the Emperor. He's talking to the robot instead. Makes him really mad. So he decides, hey, screw this. Goes back up to the ship and says, okay, we're going to blow the hell out of everything. So they blow up. Had a kind of great reversal with the Death Star. They have their own version of the Death Star. So the Empire blows up the Rebels' Death Star there, sends it into the planet. The planet explodes. Oh, they killed everybody. Oh, it's terrific. One of the best hours of TV Bear's seen in a long time. Great stuff. Talked about it for an hour. Go back to the other episode. And then they had episode 10. And then they had episode 10. But did they have this swords that made sounds? No sword play in this one, unfortunately. None whatsoever. So episode 10, the final episode. The planet has been blown up, completely blown up. The fleet is still in orbit there. Emperor's like, yeah, I'm getting my oats here. Had that big grin on his face and everything. Right on. Oh, by the way, let me go back. Let me go back real quick to the previous episode. So Space Jesus was dead. A female Chris Rock, we find. She wasn't dead. She was actually in a mental sort of psychic ward. I don't know, whatever. Escapes with Water Girl. Water Girl was going to be transplanted with the mind with the cult leader there. So they got to get there, and all the culties are around them. So female Chris Rock comes in, starts blasting out everything, and grabs her mother, grabs Water Girl, heads back to the ship, but they're followed by the cult leader, and they do like psychic battle and everything, and you think, oh my god, cult leader's gonna win. Then all of a sudden, freaking Space Jesus comes back to life. You're like, what the hell, Space Jesus? How are you still alive? Space Jesus is like, screw you, cult leader, and like just starts clubbing her head in and just like, right on. I never liked that lady anyways, and just clubs her head in. And I'm like, yes, that's a great ending to the episode. So, brand new episode starts. They talk about how Space Jesus came back to life again. He didn't really die. he ended up getting like a psychic connection with Water Girl, and Water Girl was like, okay, I'm gonna help you out. And she like, transfers her consciousness to the guard that's out there, and the guard's like, hey, let me help you out, Space Jesus. And he helps out Space Jesus, and then all of a sudden Space Jesus kills, the guard, because they can't have the guard anymore. So the guard, he's the one that's dead. They put like the psychic face mask on the guard there, so that everybody thinks it's Space Jesus, but it's not Space Jesus. Space Jesus is heading away, but he's got to go through like Water Girl's mind, so Water Girl's actually controlling him. And so the whole thing from like the previous couple episodes where Space Girl or Water Girl, she's like, acting all weird and stuff. Well, she was faking it the entire time. She had to like do the psychic fake for the cult leader there. So she's like acting all weird and everything. And then at the very end, we discovered, no, she was really right on our side. And she had to like do all this stuff, make sure people weren't following along. Well, okay, that's how Space Jesus came back. He wasn't really dead. So okay, that sort of works. That kind of works. I mean, it's not perfect. Beer doesn't an entire show talking about science, and you're talking about psychic stuff. Like, it's kind of off brand, but okay, we'll go with it. That's fine. We didn't know how Space Jesus came back to club the lady's head in, so okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then all the kids come back. They're like, hey, we've lost the cult leader, so now we're not programmed anymore. So, you can trust us. And it's like, no, don't trust them. We've already went through this. But no, they decide to trust him, open up the doors, and kids are like, yay, you're our gods now. And they kneel down. And they're like, okay, all right. So now they're the gods to all the psychic children out there. So they're going to make a brand new foundation. Yay. So they do that. So we cut back here to the Space Admiral. He's like, okay, we blew up the planet. That's a freaking atrocity, and I might be hung for it, but we're good here, right, Emperor? We're good, Day. Let's head on out here. And Day's like, hell no, we're gonna blow up all the other planets as well. And I'm like, hell yeah, Day, you an awesome dude. I like you. You're one of the best characters around. And then before he gets to do that, then the plan that's been in place the whole entire season, but they distracted everybody from it because it's easy to hide information and then just make a decent twist or whatever. So aha! No, we can't do that at all. So Brother Day tries to send everybody to hyperspace, and they have the space little creatures there that are, they're the ones that do the folding through space. So everybody else goes to sleep while they do that. Well, they decided, we're not going to follow you anymore. We're not going to be your slaves anymore. We're going to destroy all the ships. All the ships going to jump, they're all destroyed. So they're all blowing up. Like, oh, okay. All right, but doesn't that mean that you're dead? Oh, well, yes, it does. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Not the best solution, but okay. All right. So there was like this whole behind the scenes there where Harbor Mallow was really, with the Admiral there the entire time. The Admiral was tricking the Emperor, and So then they have a really, really excellent fight. I mean, one of the best. I mean, like Star Trek type fights. I mean, they're just pounding each other out. Brother Day and the Admiral there, they're just fisticuffs left and right. The ship's gonna blow up anyways. Let's fight. They're like just pow, pow, pow. Brother Day was great. Every time he gets punched in the face, he's got like blood coming down the face. He's like, all right, I love this. This is great. Here, pow, pow, pow. It was a great fight. I loved it. You always need a great fight in sci-fi. So anyways, they do that. The Emperor finally gets the upper hand. He pushes the Admiral in the airlock, says, aha, Admiral, you're dead. And it's like, well, so are you, Emperor. You're going to be dead in about 5 minutes anyways. It doesn't really matter, but whatever. She's like, and he sends the Admiral out into space, and he's got this big smile. But wait, they switched up. They did the little bracelet, body double switch-a-maroo transporter thing Harbor Mallow did with the king in the earlier episode. It's actually the Emperor out in space, and it's the Admiral here on the ship, and he's got like the Emperor's clothes on and everything. It's kind of weird. Like, all right, So, like, why wouldn't the guard shoot him right then and there? I don't know. Whatever reasons. They're gonna die anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So him and Arbor Mallow, they go drink this wine that they've had the entire season. It's kind of like a Chekhov's wine, I suppose. Finally drink the wine. The wine was terrible. Tastes like Becky's butt. And then the ship blows up. That goes that. And you're like, oh, okay. But wait, before they did that, they sent off, they couldn't send off any like escape pods, but they found one that worked, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So they put Constance in there. They says, okay, Constance, you're out of there. See ya, bye. She says her love to Harbor Mallow. They're carrying his baby. Like, okay, I'm going to be in this pod for the next hour and then I'll die because I'll run out of oxygen. But poof, they go out. She goes out into space and is floating out in space. And then, wouldn't you know it, people, good old Space Jesus comes back. He's like, no, the whole like little monument foundation thing there, it's in space. So they have like, I don't know, Foundation Heaven, whatever. Anyway, so they bring Brother Constance onto the ship, and she's like, it's like this big. They do really, really, really good set design. So it's like this big. You can tell it's this huge room, but it's like mostly black. You got this big shining shaft of light in there. That's all you see, but you can kind of feel that it's a little bit bigger there. And she's like, oh, I'm the only person here. And looks around. And then the other religious brother shows up, and he's like, well, wait a minute. You just died. That was like a great thing on the planet. It's like, his character from the beginning of the season. He was like kind of a sort of religious man, but he's lost his faith and he's drinking and all this other stuff. And then we get to the very second to last episode. He gets blown up on the planet, but before he does, he's needs to do his tricks one last time, needs to do his performance one last time for the Emperor. Emperor wasn't thrilled about it, but he kind of got his faith back, and it's a very great circular moment there. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. They decide to throw all that away. He's still alive. In fact, people, everybody on the planet that just got blown up is alive. All the people there are alive. And it's like, wait a minute. You just killed everybody there on the planet, and now they're alive. Everything you did in the previous episode is just null and void. Why would you do any of that? That doesn't make any sense at all. So they do that. There's that. They just completely wiped out whatever reason that's the previous episode had. All the stakes. They wrote themselves in the corner, and they says, do Deus Maxima. Space Jesus comes and snaps his finger, and everything's all right again. It's like, well, that's incredibly stupid. Why would you do that? You literally had a great episode of television, and then you said, okay, and now I'm gonna crap all over it. And it's like, why? Probably the best little bit of the final episode here is the robot lady. God, I'm trying to remember her name. Anyway, she very good actress there. She comes to find Dusk in the sort of prison that they had her in for all those thousands of years. He's down there. He found all the secrets, but it got locked up. So she left before all the stuff happened on Terminus. She came back to Trentor to find Brother Dusk down there. And like, okay, you shouldn't have been down here. And he's like, okay, no, don't worry about it. It's all good. She's like, no, really. You shouldn't have been down here, if you know what I mean. He's like, oh, okay. So he finds a way, he tries to make his peace and everything. It's just not going to work. And robot lady kills Brother Dusk and his main squeeze down there. Kills both of them. Comes back to the castle, the place that they have there. Brother Dawn's like, okay, what's going on? Why are you arresting, the princess lady? And she's like, well, we found out that she's the one that actually killed, tried to put out the assassination attempt on Brother Danes. wasn't the case at all. It was actually the robot lady that did it. And it's like, okay, well, what if she put out the assassin on the Brother Day at the very beginning of the season? She almost got killed. He almost got killed by just luck that he survived. Like, well, why would she want to kill the guy if, like, she was trying to save him? It doesn't make any sense. It's just one of those stupid, like, you'll never suspect who did it. It was the person that was in bed all along. Dun, 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 dun. It's like, oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. At the same time, Brother Dawn kind of figures out, wait a minute, something's going on. Brother Dusk ain't here anymore. This lady might be not what she says she is, even though she's a robot. So he decides to go grab the princess. He grabs the princess, and they go flee off into space. And robot lady's like, well, okay. Brother Dusk, he's dead. I killed him. Brother Day, he's dead. He's floating out in space. That ain't gonna help. And Brother Dawn, he just kind of like took off and went out into freaking space and never to be seen or heard from again. She's like, oh, well, okay, I guess I gotta bring back all three of the clones all at the same time. Kind of an interesting scene where they come out of the little pod and they're all like walking in unison and kind of like same mannerisms and everything. I thought that was kind of interesting that they did it that way. Season ends out. She has the kind of religious artifact there from Space Jesus, and she says, now I know the future, and I'm gonna change it. Dun 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 dun. That's the end of the episode and end of the season. God, that's one of the most frustrating series Bears ever had to freaking talk about. Great stuff, excellent stuff. The episode 9, one of the best that Bear's seen in a very long time. And then they just like, God, there were more rug pulls in this episode, this final episode, than a NFT collection. Just like I couldn't believe it. It was like you blew up the planet. You made a great arc out of all these characters here, and then you just says, psych. Nah, we decided to not do that at all. So. Frustrating. I really wish that they would have ended it on the last episode. Lee Pace smiling as the planet blows up. Would have been a great place to end it. You could have been, you could have had your teams, your team Empire. Rah, rah, rah. We want to root for the bad guy on this one. Then you could have had team Foundation. Rah, rah, rah. We want to root for, Water Girl and Space Jesus. And it's like, okay. You could do that, but no, we can't have that. We gotta make sure that Lee Pace is the bad guy, but not the good bad guy. And the very end. So all the premonitions from Water Girl have been that she is gonna be in the future, and there's gonna be this big bad guy called the Mole. Bear thought it was like Harbor Mallow for the longest time. I thought maybe there's going to be a connection there where Brother Constance dies and he blames, Water Girl for it. So he decides to go on revenge or something like that. It was kind of odd. It didn't turn out that way. It was a completely different character. I mean, that would have made sense, but no, he's just blown up in the spaceship and they were drinking Becky's butthole and that's whatever. So anyways, they were doing that very end of the series season here. If you could have picked the lamest way to introduce a main bad guy that's just like so over the top, I mean like comic book villain, I'm going to get Space Girl, and I'm going to do it. I mean, just like, it's like, God, this is, and the character design is like, if you took like Max Headroom and put on a weird set of oversized sunglasses, and like his arm has like laser blasters on it, that's what it looks like. It looks like the cheapest. Like, they spent a ton of money on this series, and they decided, hey, let's go to Party City and just kind of cobble together some stuff for the main bad guy villain for the next season. It's like, God, this just looks awful. This looks terrible. I mean, the entire season, whatever you think about it, it didn't look bad at all. It looked pretty good till the very last, very last scene, and then they decided, we're gonna film this in like a tent somewhere with some Party City supplies and flashing lights in the background. Oh, okay. Did we decide to shoot this like right before the writer's strike? Like what the hell? What the hell, man? What's going on? So, anywho, that is the Foundation, people. That is the Foundation. That's the review. Season 2. I don't know. Could have done a watch along, but it would have just been Beer just yelling at the screen, just like why? And let's see. Did Jiminy ever show up? No, of course he didn't. So even Jiminy didn't even show up. So literally nobody watches the show. Gosh, if they could have just done the previous episode and just left it there, it would have been perfect. Would have been fine. I would have been talking all about it. Yeah. Foundation. Then they had to do the final episode. It's like, you just erased every good thing that you put into this. So, I don't know. Bear said, 8 out of 10 for the last episode. Season. I mean, it's a good-looking show. They've got great actors, set design, spent a ton of money, really interesting concepts. 6.5 out of 10, maybe 6.5. Something interesting to go check out. If you just want to binge watch something and you got the Apple TV Plus, interesting stuff. I would just recommend just fast forwarding through all the Water Girl and Space Jesus stuff. Don't really need it. Just watch all the Lee Pay stuff and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, people. That's Bear's recommendation. Holy cow, I am way behind. Let's see. P-Money says, in fact, he says everything here. She was following a cult leader. What is this? A Canadian Trudeau supporter. I don't know. It's like I didn't like the actress to begin with. Fine actress, don't get me wrong. I just like the character, I suppose. It's a series that delves very heavily and leans very heavily into the science of everything. I mean, they have an entire religion based on science. So when they bring in just very new age, sort of spiritual, terrible stuff like that. Psychics and crystals and all this other stuff. It's just like this isn't part of what you're trying to talk about. This is just very new agey BS stuff. So turned off Bear from the very beginning, and just the actress herself. I just didn't like her at all. Didn't like any of this stuff. So yeah, anyways, there is that. Now that's an MMA fight. Space Jesus versus a cult leader. Yep, bashed your head in. Great stuff. Those scenes elevate the just bad stuff that goes on with this. So there you are. I will say, P-Money says, Apple TV Plus does have some good stuff. I just finished the Hijack series. Is that the Idris Elba one? I wanted to take a look at it. I didn't know if there was any good or bad. One of the things Bear wants to do is just wait for the seasons to end and just watch them from beginning to end rather than trying to wait a week. Stuff like that. Excuse me. But yeah, there you go. The Hijack, and there was another one as well that Bear wanted to... the Silo. I've read the screenplay of it, but I've never seen it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. What year is that Becky's butt wine vintage? I don't know. It was like an old wine vintage, and it was improperly stored. So when they drank it, the space admiral is like, what was the name of that, space dragon that you carried around with you? He's like, Becky. It's like, yeah, tastes like Becky's butthole. Becky. That was almost the title of the show here today. I almost called it Becky's butthole, but I don't think people would understand. Bear, what are you talking about? Becky's butthole? Oh, what the hell? Let's see. So in the show, getting exploded is simply a flesh wound. Yeah. They had Constance's father. He was like the head of the Foundation planet that they had there. He was like the president or whatever. So he started off as kind of like a non-sympathetic type character, kind of a hard ass type situation there. At the end of it, he ends up getting like stabbed by the Emperor. He kind of has a very interesting character arc. So at the very end, he gets stabbed by the Emperor. The planet's blowing up, and he kind of has a come to space Jesus moment where he fully kind of comes over on the arc and everything. And then he just shows up in Foundation Heaven. It's like, well, you just had a great character arc for that guy, and now you just totally erased it. The Admiral's gay lover shows up. It's like, you had a great arc with him. I'm not down with the gay lover stuff. I would have been fine with a female. I think it would have been better, but whatever. Okay, fine. You got your gay lover stuff. He had a great arc. He was the one that destroyed the rebel space star there, Death Star there. He's like, yeah, right on. I did it. I did the torpedoes down the tube, and then he ended up getting damaged and went down to the planet. And it's like, all right, hey, Space Admiral, come pick me up. And he's like, well, sorry, we got to blow up the planet. And they had a kind of a nice, touching moment there between the Admiral and his gay lover there. Very cool. Very, hey, that was very emotionally impactful. It was, if you're going for the woke points there, hey, you hit all 12 of them there. Congratulations. And then they just totally undid all that stuff. And it's like, well, what was the point? Why were you building this up the entire season only to just get away with it? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, simply a flesh wound. The bad is not a good bad guy, but a bad guy. Now that's a twist. I'm just like, the sort of anti-hero type situation, your sort of Walter White characters, that's Tony Soprano, that sort of deal. Would normally be a villain in any other show, but it's their own show, so they're the good guy. But yeah, it's sort of a bad guy that you root for, that sort of deal. Plus, Lee Pace just chews through the scenery. Choose through it. So yeah, there you go. Let's see, a twirling mustache villain. I would have gotten away with it. It too, if it weren't for that space Jesus. Yes. Now there is a sight watching the show on his knees, fist pointing in the air, yelling, "Why? Why? Why? Seriously, why? Why would you had literally a great episode of television, and then you just like completely undone all that sort of stuff. I mean, it was like, why? I couldn't. I don't know. And it's not like it was bad. It's bad writing, but it wasn't like it was ill-conceived or not thought out. They were putting in plenty of hints through the season, although when you looked at it at the time, you're like, why is that character doing that? That doesn't seem to make sense. So they dropped a lot of, Easter eggs and hints along the way. But yeah, you come to it and you say, yeah, all that stuff, all those emotions that we put the audience through with these characters that we built up throughout the season or previous seasons. We're just going to do away with all that sort of stuff in one episode. Why? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That loses all the dramatics out of all that sort of stuff. I could understand on the psychic planet, flesh and blood, a space Jesus coming back to life. It made sense. He didn't actually drown. We thought he drowned in that episode, but he didn't. And it went to a flashback with Gale, Water Girl. Oh, okay. And she put on sort of a psychic mask on the guy, so everybody thought it was Space Jesus, even though it was the guard. Although, like, wouldn't you say, hey, where's Steve at? We had him guarding Space Jesus, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. Where did he go? Don't worry about that. That's minor plot details. So, I mean, at least that made sense. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Having the sort of monument sort of thing there, it's the little thing that's floating right next to the little foundation thing that's the little floating next to Lee Pace there. That little, I forget what you call it. Anyways, it was in space. It's like, oh, okay, maybe they made a digital copy of it or something like that. And Constance is the first one to find it. And oh, okay, that ought to be interesting. She was saved, Deus Maxima. That's fine. And then everybody from the planet that just died came back. And it's like, well, why? Even the gay lover. It's like, even the gay lover? Ah, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see. The Elba one, I recommend you give it a shot. Very cool. He's always been good going back to The Wire. To The Wire. That's a show that Bear can recommend any day of the week. Any day of the week there. Let's see. Hold on one second, because Bear has we'll go through this very, very quickly and succinctly. Very quickly and succinctly here. Not the gay lover too, says B-Money. Again, not that it had anything to do with the gay lover part. It was like he was part of the sort of emperor stuff. And now, like, okay, you can understand Space Jesus brings back his flock, but why would he bring back the other guy that just crash landed on there? I mean, he did have a good arc. I mean, give him credit for that. Then just rug pull, haha, psych. All right, let's see here. Let's find the thing with the thing. There we are. Whoop, did I not? Hold on. Did we not? Ah, for crying out loud. 1 second. Talk amongst your shells, people. There we go. There we are here, people. Just really briefly talking about the box office this weekend. Everybody wants to go see the funny guy with the funny mustache. Or not. Deadline, Spooky Times, A Haunting in Venice, leading second worst box office weekend year to date. Dun 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 dun. Blame the Fall, the season or the Fall of Hollywood? Which one is it? Blame the lack of product. Well, Bear blames the product, that's for sure. It ain't the lack of the products. Blame the strikes. Blame everything. Wait, can we blame everything? Can we blame the crypto pedophiles that run Hollywood as a bunch of anti-American bigots? Can we blame them? Can we blame them for their shoddy products that they put out year after year and then have the bold face of trying to say, oh, it's the best movie ever? No, it's not. You're a flippin' liar and a degenerate on top of it. Can we blame that? Nah. Blame the audience. But this weekend's box office is bound to be the second worst of 2023 with an estimated $62 million for all movies. All movies. I think Barbie made like $60 million in its like opening weekend. We previously hit rock bottom over Super Bowl weekend, which is usually when they hit rock bottom. When Warner Brothers' Magic Mike's Last Dance led the box office sans a fire-breathing marketing campaign. All films totaling $52.6 million. So a little bit better. Not much. Not much. Oh, good. Amy's here. Thank goodness. Yikes. Why is she saying yikes? Let's see. Oh, how are the shelves doing? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm behind on the chat here. Let's see. Blame everything. I blame mosquitoes. Those bloodsuckers are responsible for everything that's wrong. Yeah, it gave everybody West Nile. That's what it was. The West Nile's coming back, people. Yeah, we got plenty of mosquitoes here. Believe me. Although Bear has been bitten more this summer by freaking ants. I don't know where the ants just came from all of a sudden, but Bear's claws down there are just getting like all tore up. Ay, ay, ay. That's a bear problem, though. Amy says, yeah, if we could get rid of all the mosquitoes, I feel like we wouldn't be out of much. Have you guys heard of the genetically modified mosquitoes that they released? They released thousands and thousands of genetically modified mosquitoes, to get rid of the mosquito population. It's no, I've read Jurassic Park. I know what happens when this goes on. I know what's going on. I know what's gonna go on, man. So yeah. Anyways, they were gonna do that. Yes, Amy, ants. They were ants, and they hurt. They hurt Bear quite a bit. Makes him cry. Anyways, here is the Irenee, people. The Irenee. This weekend is still up over the same time frame a year ago, 21%, when the Woman King... The Woman King led all picks to a marketplace total of $51.4 million. And that Viola Davis movie had a bigger opening than what A Haunted in Venice is seeing here. $19 million to an estimated $14 to $15 million. There you are. The Woman King. That was the one, I think, they were trying to make it really woke. So it was supposed to be in Africa, where they were fighting against the white slavers out there that were coming to enslave the Africans. And then you find out that tribe was responsible for going around to the different tribes in Africa and enslaving them and then selling them to the Europeans. They were the ones, they were the original slavers there in Africa. And it's then they try to come out with the marketing campaign of no, if you don't see this, you're a racist. And it's no, you're the They even had, the guy from the Star Wars movie, the black guy, John Boyega. He was supposed to be the king, but he got, what locked. And it was Viola Davis, who was I don't know, his mother or grandmother or something. I don't know. Anyway, she was the Woman King, and she was gonna take it to Whitey and get him. And then it turned out it's no, the historical record actually is you sold a bunch of people into you were the one responsible for all this slavery. So you go, Woman King. Woman King there. Anyways, I just wanted to show the box office here. Haunting in Venice, not bad, $14 million. Again, estimates here. Friday, not too bad. I did not know that was a Disney movie, though. That might be a reason to boycott it. Might be a reason there. Probably because people took a look at it and says, is this a horror movie? Is this a Perot movie? What the hell's going on here? And, Tina Fey will bring him in. Tina Fey is box office poison. Don't ever get Tina Fey anything. Terrible. Let's see. The Nun 2. The Nun 2, not too bad. Equalizer 3, doing pretty good. $78 million. Pretty good. That kind of came in under the radar there. Did we really need another big fat Greek wedding? Probably not. Barbie, just doing bang up bofo business out here. Doing pretty good. I think it went over, or it was coming close to $2 billion. worldwide. Blue Beetle just making a stink everywhere. $67 million. Week 5, $120+ million to make. So that's going down the trash. Is anybody out there? Has anybody made any mention of the cultural impact of Blue Beetle? Pardon me. It's supposed to be the first brand new character for James Gunn. Oh man, this is going to start off the DCU. The Blue Beetle. Has that even made a dent? Has it any... I mean, it's down 400 theaters from a week ago. It's doing $500,000 on Friday and scrounging up 2.5 million. It just barely beats whatever Yawn is. I have no idea. Might be another Indian Bollywood movie, like the one that beat out Indiana Jones. So there you go. Almost got beat out there. Almost got beat out. Gran Turismo, doing decent. I wanted to kind of highlight this one, Oppenheimer. Just, Beer, it was a good movie. Wasn't the greatest. It's not really worth the hype, really, but it was a good movie. And it's nice to see that good movies actually have staying power, even if it's lost a lot of the IMAX theaters there. Doing pretty well. I think it's coming close to 1 billion worldwide. So, doing well. And then finally, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That one really just fell off. Golly. So, not doing well for the TMNT. Not at all. Amy says, if mosquitoes get superpowers before I do, I can be mad at science, right? I would hate to think of mosquitoes with superpowers. That'd be terrible. Good to have Melissa here. She says, super mosquitoes, but why? Well, they were essentially putting like some sort of genetic marker in there where when the mosquitoes mated, they would pass off the genetic marker to the other, the other mate. And the mate wouldn't be able to reproduce. Supposedly. But Bears read Jurassic Park. I know how that turned out. Man. Let's see. So Bear might get even more superpowers. Ooh, watch out. I can talk in 2 languages. I think they fought the European armies trying to end slavery in their territory. No, it was completely opposite. No, they were fighting. That was what the movie was. The movie, quote unquote, was about. But when they went to the actual historic tribes, they were in Africa. No, they were the ones that were selling. There's a big misconception with a lot of people. A lot of people think that. And it's not like that it didn't happen, but I think a lot of people think that, like, I'm just going to make an example. France went down to Africa and tried to get a whole bunch of, or let me do it better, Spain, since Spain was over here in the New World. Spain went down to Africa, got a whole bunch of slaves, brought them over to the New World to work the mines and yada, yada, yada. That's not how it happened. Spain went down to Africa, yeah, for sure, to the ports. And they says, hey, locals, we need people to go over to the New World. We'll be willing to pay you for these people. When your tribal wars, you get prisoners of war. Hey, if you can't use them, we will. We'll pay you good money for it. So no, it was I forget the name of the tribe there that was doing it, but yeah, they were the ones that were selling their fellow Africans into slavery to the European colonies. So that's how it worked. Actually, it was a lot of indigenous people with Spain. So they were the ones that were, doing the mines and the gold and all that sort of stuff. So mainly Caribbean was the African slave trade. Caribbean, Florida at the time was still part of Spain. So, those sort of areas. There you go. There's your history lesson from a bear. Big fat Greek wedding number 4, even bigger than fatter. Even bigger Even bigger. Oh, even bigger, even fatter. Quattro fat. Possibly weldier. There you go. And Greekier, too. And the Greekiest yet. There you go. They didn't make mutant mosquitoes with frog DNA. I hope not. Gosh, I hope not. Bear's read that book. Bear has read that book. If they did, would the water make the mosquitoes gay? Asks Grant. That's a very good question. Very good question. One might have questions about that. Yes, indeed. All right, and got the interesting. Oh, by the way, Deadline and Inter d'Alessandro out here. Inter d'Alessandro. Yes, indeed. Bounding into comics, people. Bounding into comics. Let's see. Fable creator Bill Willingham declares asymmetrical warfare. It's about time. Thank you, sir. On DC Comics, releases sales to the public domain. Yes, indeed, people. Yes, indeed. Fables creator Bill Willingham has made a nearly unprecedented move, allowing his creation to enter the public domain, people. The public domain. Willingham announced the move via a press release on his Substack. As of now, September 15th, 2023, the comic book property called Fables, including all related Fables spin-offs and characters, is now in the public domain. What was once wholly owned by Bill Willingham is now owned by everyone for all time. It's done. And as most experts will tell you, once done, it cannot be undone. You heard that, DC. Take-backs are neither contemplated nor possible. So, look at there, people. Since I can't afford to sue DC, to force them to live up to the letter and spirit of our long-time agreements, since even winning such a suit would take a ridiculous amount of money out of my own pockets and years out of my life. He's 67, people. I've decided to take a different approach and fight them in a different arena, inspired by the principles of asymmetrical warfare. He added, the one thing in our contract the DC lawyers can't contest or reinterpret to their own benefit is that I am the sole owner of the intellectual property. I can sell it or give it away to whomever I want. Aww. He goes on to answer why he made this move, which is partially due to his feelings on copyright and trademark law being broken. And his desire to fix the system by leading an example. But the majority of the press release is then dedicated to calling out bad business practices by DC Comics. Do it! Out in public. Air it all out. He says, when honest people occupy the corporations, they often do the right thing. When those honest people are replaced by low-character thugs, over the span of years, the corporations become incapable of doing the right thing. His post on X echoed his press release, which cites current DC employees as being revolving doors of strangers. No measurable integrity, who now chose to interpret every facet of our contract in ways that only benefit DC Comic and its owner companies. That would be Warner Brothers. Well, Discovery Warner Brothers. Wait, no. Warner Brothers Discovery? Warner Brothers Discovery. At one time, the Fable properties were in good hands. And now, by virtue of attrition and employee replacement, the Fables properties have fallen into bad hands. There you go. Pretty cool looking. While a lawsuit might settle matters of contractual dispute, the Fable creator believes it It too would take far too much money and far too many years for him to be able to properly fight. Yeah, he already said that. Willingham states the egregious behaviors of DC Comics regarding Fables are too long to list. However, he offers some highlights. Batman versus Bigby. Watch out, Batman. There's a wolf behind you. First, he accuses DC Comics of making creative decisions on the Fables property without his consent over the years. He then claims they tried to strong-arm the ownership of Fables from me. What? How dare you? How dare you? That's pretty good cover art. Finally, Willingham says DC admitted that their interpretation of our publishing agreement and the following media rights agreements is that they could do whatever they wanted with the property. They could change stories or characters in any way they wanted. They had no obligation whatsoever to protect the integrity and value of the IP, either from themselves or from third parties, Telltale Games, for instance. Who wants to radically alter the characters' settings, history, and premises of the story? I tell you. The news comes as a surprise to fans as Willingham returned to the Fable story after a years-long hiatus. In 2022, he launched a new arc, which was slated to go 12 issues, but is as of current, incomplete. Gosh, this is kind of written a little odd here. Apologies. DC Comics still has the planned finale of issue 162 solicited for September with a release date of 11/14/2023. Wait, solicited for September with a release date of November. Okay, whatever. Willingham tweeted when a fan asked if they would still be released. He says, "I've long ago finished my part of them prior to wiping the dust of DC from my feet." Wow. And have been paying them, and have been paid for them. I guess it's up to DC. Regardless, Willingham gives the public rights to do their own works with his creations. Very cool. That would actually make a good drawn and quartered next week. You know, you can go ahead and do it, and it's yours. You don't got to worry about it. With the press release stating, you have the rights, people. You have the rights to make Fable movies, cartoons, publish your Fable books, and manufacture your Fable toys, and do anything, people, you want with your property, because it's your property. Wow. What do you think about Fables entering the public domain? Well, I just told you, it's pretty cool. It's about time they started doing some of this stuff, fighting fire with fire. Again, I still say the copyright law, as far as how long it can be held, is way too long. The sort of Disney argument there, Disney died years and years ago, and it's only just now that Steamboat Willie's coming out, not even the actual full Mickey Mouse. So yeah, they really, this is good stuff. Turn it over to the public domain. Excellent. It makes great derivatives of the work. So somebody might come up with, something like this and make something a little bit better. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Couple of hays and hellos. That's really cool, says Amy. Thank you. I sure hope it's pretty cool. I hope that works out. I know they're going to get their lawyers on it and try and stink it up, but I think he's got a good case, especially if he owns the IP. He can say, like, yeah, okay, that's free, sure. Grant, I'm with you. Now, if only they'll release a Star Wars and Star Trek. There you go. Nope, gotta wait. Lucas ain't even dead. Gene Roddenberry's been dead, but it's his wife that's still has the copyright there. So there you go. We'll see. Maybe she'll release it. What the heck? They're Star Trek's based on like a kind of a utopian society where there's no monetary transactions and stuff like that. So yeah, put Star Trek in the public domain. Live up to your ideals. Live up to the ideals of Star Trek there. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see. Melissa says, I believe another word that would apply here as well would be the word based. Based. Much like a turkey. That is based. There we go. I hope I'm right. Bear hopes he's right. Let's see. She says, the official books are a little more than fanfics anymore. If the licensed products aren't going to be faithful adaptation, then why not just have it all be fanatics? Fanfics, rather. Fanfics. There you go. I agree, Melissa. That is a very good point. Very, very good point indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, I had another story here. I'll probably save that for another time. Once again, people, coming up this Wednesday, we're going to be doing it, people, the Rambo number 4. Actually, it's just titled Rambo. We're going to be doing a watch-along of Rambo. Celebrating your boy Zach's book, hopefully getting in some sales. Also, they got the new Expendable movie coming out. So, kind of a little bit of a tie-in with both of those out there. So, join Bear for that. Even if you're not a big fan of Rambo, hey, just keep Bear company. He would appreciate it very much. Yes, indeed. Well, P-Money's headed out. Bear might as well just go ahead and wrap it up here as well. Let me get back here. He was doing like this little magic trick for all the people on the planet. There you go. It was kind of funny. They had good moments in the Foundation. Then they had some less than good moments there. All right. Anyway, let me go back. Let me thank Grant, Amy, Melissa, Sam, P Money finally made it. Kept Bear company here the entire time. Well, half the time there. And of course, all of our Russian bots and lurkers. We appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, this show wouldn't happen. We all know this. Bear would just be talking to himself. And you just don't want to see bears talking to themselves. That's not good. So thank you once again. But you know what, people? All this Foundation talk, it's making Bear hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.